Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. I'm your host, Jared Sebesta of Tejas Financial Group, where we build purposeful retirement plans. At Tejas Financial Group, we believe retirement planning is so much more than just preparing financially. Our goal is to help retirees and pre-retirees steward their time, talent, and treasure. We have the tools and proven process to make sure your retirement plan delivers the greatest purpose, impact, and legacy. If you need help building a purposeful retirement plan specific for your life and your retirement, give us a call. Our number is 320-222-4236. You can request a meeting online at tejasfinancial.com. And if you're in the neighborhood, just stop by our office. We're located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer, building purposeful retirement plans. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Before we get started with our show today, we are so excited to announce that one of our most popular seminars is coming back with 2 dates and 1 new location in the month of November. Understanding Social Security with Tim Mattern is back. Did you know Social Security is the primary source of income for 69% of retirees? Choosing when to take it, how to take it is a much more complex decision than what a lot of people think. And it's more in depth than just waiting till you're 62, 65, or 69 years old. This 60-minute educational seminar is going to cover everything that you need to know to make the best decision possible. Again, we have 2 dates coming up for you, the first of which is at our new location in Alexandria. It's coming up on Thursday, November 2nd at the Depot Smokehouse and Tavern in Alexandria. 2 weeks later, on Thursday, November 16th, Understanding Social Security is coming back to Wilmer at the Oaks. Both seminars are free. Both are educational only, but you have to register if you want to attend either one of these seminars. The way that you do that, you can go to our website, tejasfinancial.com. You're going to see links at the top of the page. Another very easy way to register is to go to our Facebook group. Go into the events tab, and you'll see both events listed there. Go check it out. Again, 2 dates, November 2nd in Alexandria and November 16th in Wilmer. Ben Tejas joins me on the show now. This is another fun event that we're going to do. It's back. We're excited for that. And this is always a very popular seminar that Tim does about every year or two.
Yeah, it's a good one. And Tim's a national Social Security advisor, so he's had the opportunity to work with a lot of clients on their Social Security, work through different strategies, and it's such a big part of retirees' financial picture. I think it's important we understand Social Security and make sure you're making those correct Social Security decisions, because you only get a chance to make that decision once.
Yep, and everybody has to cross that path. So this is a decision that you have to make whether you like it or not. Ben, let's talk about today's show. We want to kind of continue the conversation from last week. We talked about the war and how that may or may not affect your 401k, but we want to kind of take that to the next level on today's show.
Yeah, last week I was just feeling very convicted in, the question kept coming up, well, how is this war affecting my 401k? And that seems to be a place that we tend to go, and that's okay. I mean, we realize that, we're in a financial firm, and one of the things that we do look at is many risks that come into our clients' portfolio. So you look at, interest rate risk, and you look at market risk, and one of those risks is geopolitical risk that we're seeing right now play out in the Middle East. So that is a thing that we look at and that we discuss and that we talk to experts about. However, I think sometimes we right away skip past the fact that there is a war going on and there's people being killed, and we say, well, how is this impacting my 401k? Right. So I think the second question should be, how is, the first thing we should look at is, well, what's actually going on over there? Lives being lost. Be a person who's praying for them, somebody who is supporting Israel through this. The second thing is, you can then look at, okay, how is this going to impact the long term of my current portfolio? Mm-hmm. So that question would be, how is this war impacting my 401k? But I think another follow-up question that I think it's worth talking about is, how is my 401k affecting this war? Okay, again, so first is, yes, people are dying. We've got to be in prayer for that. But then it's, how might this affecting my financial situation? But I also have to say, how is my 401k impacting the war?
Yeah. How are ways that that these dots are connected that people may not see on the surface?
Well, I think it's something that as a firm we continue to do better on every time we meet as an investment committee. So we do that regularly, at least once a month, sometimes multiple times a month, where we're talking through different decisions that we're making in helping our clients steward their resources. So as we steward those resources, there's things that we as financial professionals look at that they might not. And this is a great example of that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So in light of the war, why don't you give me an example?
Well, an example would be that, again, this is not something that somebody would set out to do, but indirectly they could own a company that through their mutual fund actually does both business in China, but also some of that money ends up flowing back to the Chinese Communist Party, which then supports indirectly Iran, which then that money can potentially end up being part of the side of the war that I don't want to be associated with.
Yeah.
So somebody may not put all those dots together, and in the past I didn't either, but I think it's just important that we ask the questions and figure out where our money's invested and how is it playing a role in the war overseas right now.
I think it always goes back to you understanding what your money is in, where it's invested, how it's invested, and what it's actually doing. This falls under that heading really well. How, is this like where you're just endlessly chasing the tail, or can you start to really be able to make decisions based on conviction, or is it just kind of an endless rabbit hole you always go down?
Well, it's difficult, Jared. It's first difficult because you have to understand not everybody's going to feel the same way that you or I do. So I think it's important that you understand how your worldview, though, impacts the investments you make. Start there. And then follow through with, okay, if I know this is what I believe in, then I should start to understand how my beliefs translate to my investments, because it just is important that you do your best. Now, we've had a number of faith-based investing and values-based investing webinars that we've done in the past. If somebody's interested in learning more about that, contact us. We'll get them over to you. But I think it really starts with just saying, okay, what do I believe? And what's important to me? What are the things that I know I stand for? Then begin the process. And sometimes it's like, I don't even want to know. Like, I'd rather not know, but at least know something about how your money's invested. Take one step closer to understanding, how your money's invested and how it may, again, maybe not align with your own personal worldview.
We got a couple minutes left here. Talk about if somebody were to come in, whether they're doing business with us or not, but said, hey, here's my portfolio. Give me an assessment. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Show me what I may not see. We're able to do that for people in an easy 60-minute meeting.
Yeah, again, it's very, if we're in this every day, it begins, we know certain things, certain holdings, certain companies we're looking for that you might say, I didn't even understand that at the end of all those dots, here's where that money ended up. So we're able to, put it through a fund selector and a screener that we can say, okay, here's kind of your individual holdings underneath that fund. Here's some things you might want to consider. We can use software that screens for certain things. There's a lot of things that we can do to help people understand, what exactly is inside of their portfolio. I think the last thing you want to do is just blindly throw your money into the market, right? It starts with understanding your risks and your goals with that money. That's part of a traditional financial plan, of course. But then it should go a little deeper. It should take that next step and say, okay, from a risk standpoint, here's the things that I'm looking for as an advisor. But really from a values and investing standpoint and a worldview standpoint, here's the other things that I'm helping my clients see within their portfolio.
All right, sounds good, Ben. Well, if you'd like to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting where we can take the time to review how your investments may not be aligning with your values, now is the time to do so. We have a number of ways that you can set up this meeting. First, give us a call at 320-222-4236. You can request a meeting online at tachesfinancial.com. And like I said, if you live in West Central Minnesota, just stop by our office. We're located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer, building purposeful retirement plans. I'm Jared Sebesta, joining you on this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Securities offered through Avantax Investment Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through an Avantax affiliated insurance agency.